Welcome everybody, my name is Michael and today is a gorgeous sunny day. Wow, summer is finally here, I guess you can say. And we're talking about crypto, the crypto crash, where most of us are in a deep depression right now because of what happened with our finances. And on top of that, it's not just with our finances, but sometimes with our jobs that are related to crypto. Sometimes you recommend it to friends and family and they also lost money. And now people are blaming you and your family's blaming you. And maybe you had a wife or kids or, if you're a girl, you had a husband and you lost a family home. Okay, maybe that's a little extreme, but I'm sure some people have done that. You lost the life savings and now you go on Reddit and you see a post called "I'm a foolish, foolish man," and you see hundreds of comments and everyone's in a similar predicament where they lost a lot of money. Some say they lost over $1 million, some say it's 100,000. And my input on this is I'm also one of those who lost well over $100,000, and I lived in a country where that was a life-changing sum of money, because if I invested that properly, for example, if I purchased a house, which I could have purchased a house or an apartment for that sum, I could have been a rather wealthy individual right now, especially in Poland. I could grow $150,000 into 200, 300, 400, 500,000. Who knows where I'd be so many years later. And where am I? I'm in the negatives. I'm paying back debts from years ago. And things are getting better, but I think part of the reason that I lost my hearing is because I unfortunately lost so much money in crypto. And it was this domino effect of so many problems, hundreds of problems that all stemmed from one main cause. And that was this main cause of losing the money, but that was caused by thousands of small bad decisions. Let's invest in altcoins. Let's overinvest. Let's start investing in the higher risk projects suddenly. Let's put a little bit of money into Control Finance and BitConnect and Laser Online. That was kind of an experiment, and I lost money with Control Finance, but I made up for it with BitConnect and Laser Online. And for those who know, you remember. If you don't, it was just for a video, so it wasn't that much. But there was thousands of decisions that were small, and each one kind of panned out even worse. The fact that I was accepting money in cryptocurrency from companies that eventually went bankrupt, and I sold shares in a panic, and I definitely undersold them. I sold a lot of my belongings, and I panic sold them as well. This thread has definitely brought back some of those memories. How different life would be. I think I'm in a better position now than I was years ago, but man, there's days, almost every single day, I go back to 2017, and that was definitely a year that a lot has happened. So a lot has happened in that time period, and we have developed a lot as humans, but now we see the next wave where people are going from where we were in 2017 down into 2018, the dumps. We have the next wave of young investors, and we are able to get out of it because we're young. We're in our 20s, most of us. Some of our are 18, 19, maybe even younger, which if you're younger than 18, you shouldn't be investing so huge amounts of money, whatever it is. If it's $1,000, $2,000, $5,000, you shouldn't be investing with that unless you know what you're doing, which in this case, we don't, because that's why we're here on this thread. That's why we're here watching this video. That's why most of us have lost such a huge amount of money. And a private jet is flying. There we go. A private jet is flying overhead. Man, that life of the Lambos and everything. We definitely think about that. So an entire community of individuals saying, me too, yes. Oh man, it sucks because I invested this X amount of money with the hopes that it would go up, and everything was going up. There was a November pump, and NFTs went up, and DeFi was fun. And there were some projects where there was 1,000x. And in many cases, people have made money before they lost the money. So it wasn't they just put it in, bam. Although some of the newbies, yeah, they were just torn apart by this hurricane. Many people did put a little bit of money in, and that rose, so they put a little bit more, and then they told their friends and family, and they put a little more, and the more money that they made, just like in my case, the more your risk aversion kind of swings the other way, and suddenly you're open to all of this risk, and you're like, you know what, let's do leverage trading at 100x. That sounds like a swell idea. until you get wrecked because the market doesn't go your way. And then it doesn't go your way for a week, 2 weeks, a month. And suddenly the whole market is falling like crazy. Projects are going bankrupt or rug pulls. You know, people are scamming each other. And then you take a look at the wider market where outside of crypto, everything's pretty much falling apart. People aren't interested in purchasing products anymore, and inflation and the salaries are kind of, and there's a whole bunch of issues right now where this is going to have economic consequences for the next couple of years. And we may not feel it the whole time, but there are consequences that already are lasting for the next couple of years, and they are very difficult to solve, these problems. So all we can do is, as some people are saying, dollar cost averaging, but only invest in what you can afford to put in. And at this point, it can be something as small as 1%. 1% of what you make, 2%, 5%, 10%, whatever it is that you feel comfortable with, just stick at it. Only stick with the main cryptos, Bitcoin, Ether, or Binance, whatever you feel comfortable with. Maybe do your own research in a couple projects, and that's it. That's it. Don't go too crazy. Don't follow it every single day. Don't rip your hair out. We're going to get through this. There's a lot of stuff that I wish I could go back and redo, but I can't. I feel like a fool every single day, and I guess it just sticks with you. So no matter what the amount is that you lost, treat it as a lesson, and you have to move forward. Now, do I have hope that things will get better in the future? Oh, 100%. Otherwise, I wouldn't be here, and I want to be in crypto, and I still think there's a lot of faith that you have to have, and you have to be a little crazy to be here anyways. So especially if you lost a lot of money, understand that there's still ways to become rich and hopefully financially independent in the future. We just have to play it safer. We have to be a little smarter with our decisions. We can't do as many crazy stunts as we did when we were younger. And I'm sure we learned a lot this cycle. It wasn't as crazy as the 2018 crash. I mean, we still don't know what's going to happen, but I feel for you. I feel for all those newcomers to the poor group, I guess. Where we have no. So yeah, life's all about learning from your lessons, and hopefully this one doesn't stick with you for too long. I mean, I fell into such a deep depression in 2018 that there were so many financial issues. It wasn't just the fact that I lost all my money. I could have made up a fair portion of that, but most of my earnings were related to crypto, actually every single one. So suddenly the company that I was working for, the valuation went down from potentially millions of dollars to hundreds of thousands of dollars to being negative. That was a problem. There were some projects that didn't pay out thousands of dollars. There were some that paid later after the tokens fell in valuation, and what was supposed to be $5,000 for a video turned into $1,000, which that's a fair amount of money to lose, $4,000 after months of waiting. B token, I remember you, whatever the amount was. I don't know if it was I definitely lost thousands from just waiting. There was plenty of projects that I remember with Deep Onion. I think I had a salary of $5,000 a month in addition to whatever else I was supposed to earn, and 5,000, 6,000, something crazy like that. And it went down to 1,000 a month, and then it continued to go down very quickly. Like these, you go from a portfolio of 100,000 to I lost 70,000 in a single week, and mainly just a couple decisions in a single day, really. So these decisions all led me to eventually, there was a moment where I was really bad, feeling horrible. I was feeling depersonalized, and I fell into this deep depression, and I decided to go to the doctors, and I was recommended by one, by two, by multiple doctors to go to a psychiatrist. I went and was prescribed pregabalin. And as you know, within the first week or two, I lost my parts of my vision and my hearing, and multiple years later, here I am with the consequences. They're lifelong. There's no cure. And that continued to also worsen my situation because I had to pay more money and I lost more money. And what I would do to just go back to 2017, and with the knowledge that I have now, I don't know. Life would be so much different, but it is what it is. So what can you do? You have to keep going forward. That's pretty much it. Thanks for watching this video, and I really feel for you guys. I really do. It feels terrible. It feels like you're stuck in a prison, you know? But let's hope for the best.